Hey guys, it's me, Stephen Williams, Managing Partner with Foxtrot Family Law. Today I'm going over 5 simple fixes. We call them low-hanging fruit. You may have seen that picture in some of our other posts on this topic. 5 simple fixes that are going to make a big difference in your child custody case. So let's go through them real quick. Number 1, maybe the most fundamental thing, shelter. Regarding shelter, okay? So have a possessory interest in wherever it is that you live with your child or where you live and have visitation with your child. That means have a lease with your name on the lease as the lessee or your name on the deed as an owner of the property. You need a possessory interest in your home in some form or fashion. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be between a friend or a family, but you need something legal that on a functional level prevents you from getting just tossed out on a Tuesday, and something that reflects that you've taken responsibility to ensure that you and your child have adequate shelter, adequate place to live. 2, let's look at this real quick, a personal voicemail greeting. That's number 2, personal voicemail greeting. We've all heard you've reached number in at North Alabama, 256-123-456-789. When I call you, if you're my client, I might be leaving you confidential, privileged communication. If I'm not sure I've got the right number for you, I can't leave you a voicemail. DHR workers can't, court personnel can't, and second of all, it just doesn't look good. I'd rather hear, "Hi, you've reached the voicemail of John Doe. Thanks for calling. Please leave a short message and I'll get back with you as soon as I can." That just sounds a lot more responsible, a lot more professional, even in your personal life. If you're not a professional in your day-to-day work life, that's okay. It just makes you look like a professional co-parent, a professional caring relative. So that's number 2, personalized voicemail greeting. Oh, one last thing. If you don't have a voicemail set up at all, big red flag. Okay, let's move on. Have an email address. If you don't have an email address that you check routinely, not often, just routinely, big red flag, and you almost might struggle to function in today's society. What that says about society as a whole, I'm not going to get into that. That's not what this post is about. But have an email address. If you don't have a smartphone, set one up, check it at the library 2 to 3 times a week. You need to be going and supporting your library more anyways. If you do have a smartphone, check it before lunch, check it in the evening. Make sure that any important information from schools, from healthcare providers, from your child custody lawyer, that you've received that you're in the loop on what you need to do, where you need to be, what information you need to have. So set up an email address. Moving right along. 4, have a calendar and use it. I've posted elsewhere about this. Once you start using and relying on your calendar, it's going to free up a lot of mental energy, all that stuff you're trying to keep balanced in your head. You'll never be able to go back. Google Calendar is a great resource. Each member of our team at Foxtrot has 2 Google Calendars that they use. One is sort of a main calendar with events and court appearances. And one's an internal calendar where we calendar things we need to do. I need to call Joe back at 3 o'clock. Maybe I don't want to block out that space on my main calendar, but I'll put it on the internal calendar so I know A, that I need to call Joe, B, that I'm going to do it at 3 o'clock. And, have some time allotted for that so I can not just organize my events and meetings throughout the day, but organize my tasks by linking them to specific times through the day. So I've talked about that elsewhere. We'll get into that more and in more depth elsewhere. Last thing, number 5, have a real live checking account. Read the blog article on this. I know it's a touchy subject, and I know that there are socioeconomic factors at play, but for better or for worse, it's a red flag when somebody doesn't have a checking account, somebody operates on a cash basis, or somebody uses a check cashing facility. That's not going to be in the plus category in your child custody case. Again, I'm here to tell you how to be effective in your child custody case, and operating on a cash basis, using cashing facilities and secondary finance is not going to look good to the judge. You know, I try to understand it and have some perspective. I work with a lot of different people that come from different backgrounds and have different opportunities and different resources. I get that, but the judges don't always, DHR doesn't always, other stakeholders don't. So do what you can. I mean, if it's even just the local credit union, the local bank, the Wood Forest or whatever it is that's in Walmart's. 5, get yourself a checking account, do yourself a favor, and use it and manage it effectively. So that's 5 simple things. Thanks for getting all the way through the video. Hope if these 5 things aren't in place in your life, you can put them in place. And I mean, you'll be further ahead of the game in your child custody situation than you think. Thanks.